Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. Rahul Gandhi has compared Modi's model of governance with the British era. Ladies and gentlemen, Rahul Gandhi, the great-grandson of Nehru, the great-great-grandson of Motilal Nehru, is trying to get preachy about the British Raj. Before I even begin the rest of the nation's sharpest opinion, and since Rahul Gandhi has such problems with inequality in India and how some people have become so rich and some people have become so poor, I want Rahul Gandhi to go and ask anyone in his extended family, how did Motilal Nehru become so rich during the British time? What was Motilal Nehru's lifestyle about which fables are written? What was Motilal Nehru's working relationship with the British at that time? Was Motilal Nehru very close to the British? Did he benefit by being close to the British? Did he prosper by being close to the British? And Rahul Gandhi, let me go further. Your great-grandfather Nehru, what was his lifestyle pre-independence? When the people of India were being exploited, when the people of India were very poor, what was your great-grandfather Nehru and your great-great-grandfather Motilal Nehru's lifestyle, riches, money, assets, gold, jewelry? You know, Rahul Gandhi, it used to be told, it was fables at that point of time, about how your family made so much money under the British, not after the British. After the British, of course, many-fold you people made money. But under the British, just check it out. Nehru, so close to Edwina, so close to the Mountbattens. What kind of parties happened at that point of time? How were they all fetted around? Go check it out. The same Nehru who was acting on Mountbatten's advice on Kashmir. The same family, ladies and gentlemen, who seem to have inherited and mastered, in my view, the ability to play classic British Raj politics of divide and rule and trying to lecture New India about inequality. The same Rahul Gandhi, whose government allowed the abide with me hymn to play at the beating retreat year after year after year. The same Rahul Gandhi, whose father reportedly made religion a filter as a basis for induction into the Central Parliamentary Board. The same Rahul Gandhi, whose mother headed a UPA which reportedly sanctioned a survey to find out the number of Muslims in the Indian Army. The same Rahul Gandhi, whose manifesto is ridden with the divide and rule, is lecturing India. On the one side, you are saying we are going to try our best to get more Muslims into the higher judiciary. Same divide and rule. But beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, I will tear apart this argument of inequality that Rahul Gandhi has begun to spin. Because beyond the British obsession of Rahul Gandhi, some facts need to be put on the record to this family. That is my view. So I'll conclude by saying one thing. Rahul Gandhi, start doing your research and your homework. Find out how rich your family was under the British. If anybody benefited under the British, Rahul Gandhi, it was your family. So introspect, do a PhD on your family's wealth pre-independence and then speak. Let's debate.
Nothing has been done for the poor people of India. Highest rate of unemployment in the last 40 years. 83% of the unemployed are youth. India today is more unequal than it was under the British. And 22 Indian people, 22 of India's richest people have as much money as 70 crore citizens have.
One of the richest Indians in the British time was his great-grandfather and his great-great-grandfather, so made tons of money at that time. And he's saying there are some Indians who are having too much money, but your own family had the most money. So, Nikhil, you wanted to say something there? I mean, Rahul Gandhi
Absolutely,
missing the
Arnab.
British
They
Raj,
already
saying the
had
British
money.
Raj
That
was
is the life that this
infinitely
family
better.
has given up for the people of India, that they have written
How
their
did they
own
have
family
money?
house to
How
become,
did they
to be
have
made a
money
museum,
during the
to be
British
made a
time?
museum.
How did they have so much money during the
Arnab,
British
are we
time? How
forgetting
did this
that India
family,
was a
this
feudal
Nehru,
country?
Gandhi,
There
Vadra
were
family,
kings, there were
have so much money
zamindars.
under the British time?
Are we forgetting the
No, how did
system
they
of
have
kings and zamindars?
kings? He was a
Are
king.
we forgetting the system of kings and zamindars?
Was he a king?
Let's focus
He
Was
on
wasn't a
Motilal
king, but
Nehru
that
a
doesn't mean
king?
that only the
King
kings and the
Motilal
zamindars
Nehru.
had money at that time. He does not mean that only the kings and the zamindars
okay.
had money at that
Zamindar
point of
Motilal
time. It
Nehru.
was a feudal country, and let's not forget that
King
Motilal Nehru was
Motilal
one of the
Nehru.
top lawyers of the country
Emperor.
at his time.
Nawab
Motilal Nehru was one of the top
Nawab.
lawyers of the country
How
at
did he
that
have so much
time.
money?
He had that money. Please,
Top
Arnab, please tell
lawyers
me, how does Prime Minister
had
Narendra
money.
Modi have the money to wear a 2
What
lakh
was his
pair of
equation with the
sunglasses?
British? What was
प्रधानमंत्री के
his
माई बाप के
equation with
चश्मे
the
कहाँ से
British?
आते हैं? प्रधानमंत्री
What
के माई
was
बाप के चश्मे
Motilal
कहाँ से
Nehru's
आते हैं?
equation with the British?
He had no equation with the British. He was the president
I'm
of the
asking
Congress
you,
party.
where is...
He was the president of the Congress party, the same Congress party that was seeking for independence from the
Speak,
British, as
Akashdeep,
it did
yes.
get. Unlike the
Can we
RSS,
focus on today's
the
India?
BJP's
Now, there are
ideological
some facts
parents.
that I want to put in front of your audience. Nikhil ji, ek minute. As per the government reports, 5% of Indians own more than 60% of India's wealth, while 50% of the population owns only 3%. This rich-poor divide, don't you think that it is very disastrous to say that we are in a new India while there is a huge rich-poor divide? 10% is the unemployment rate that touched in this government for the first time, and as per CMI report, don't you think that unemployment rate should be lesser amongst the age group of 20 to 24? The unemployment rate was 44%. Don't you think that these are all alarming figures? And then while I'll just compare,
let
while
me
in
rebut
the,
this.
in December,
I think
in
let
the
me
times
rebut
of
this
British,
here.
British, no, wait a minute.
By
Sir, wait a minute.
1991,
I want to say, like during the British era, they used authorities to suppress any opposition. Similar is happening in the Modi's era also, who is using CBI and ED. Now, you know and I know that 95% of the CBI and ED cases are against the opposition parties. That this was 40% and 50% during the UPA rule. Why it increased in the NDA rule? The interesting factor is that 96% is the increase against opposition party, while there is 0.01% of conviction rate of enforcement rate. Why it is so less? While there has been glaring cases where cases have been filed against opposition leaders, and when they joined Bharatiya Janata Party, these cases have been removed. I cite what the Bharatiya Janata Party MP said. I will be citing today. Harshvardhan Patil of Maharashtra politician says that I get sound sleep as there is no inquiries now. And I also want to cite BJP MP
Nikhil, I'll tell you one thing. Nikhil
and
Akashdeep, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Akashdeep, allegedly, Sarojini Naidu said, it takes a lot of money to keep Gandhi poor. These are realities.
So
There's a lot of Gandhi fans, but I'm saying Sarojini Naidu said it took a lot of money to keep Gandhi in poverty.
What is the source
Second
of
point.
that, Arnab?
Second
What
point.
are we
Yeah, I
talking
didn't have a
about? What are
dictaphone,
we
I didn't
talking
record
about?
it.
Are we still going to continue bashing Mahatma Gandhi the same Mahatma Gandhi?
Can you stop boring me by saying what are we talking about? I'm making a larger point. I'm making a larger point. The redistribution of wealth has been the greatest in recent years, and the trickle-down effect of the kind of macroeconomic changes we are happening in this country. And the reality is the per capita GDP of people has doubled.
So you are
I
agreeing
want
with
to
that
know whether
manifesto
you
point of the
people
Congress,
realize
right?
what the
So
make no mistake.
Please answer me
Make
this.
no
Please answer
mistake.
me this.
Allow me to complete.
Are you supporting
Allow me to complete.
redistribution of wealth?
Allow me
Are
to
you
complete.
supporting redistribution
Allow
of
me to
wealth, yes or
complete.
no?
No. I'm
No,
saying
please, yes or
something.
no?
Are
Please,
you
yes or
sure
no?
you will not work with
Please,
me?
yes or no?
I'm saying something. Listen to me. 1 minute. No, what yes or no? What yes or no?
Tell me, are you supporting redistribution
yes
of
or no
wealth?
with me?
Are you supporting a key plank of the Congress manifesto, of the Congress Nyay Patra? Are you supporting it or not? Redistribution of wealth, yes or no? For it or against it?
Are you
Simple as
good?
that.
Arnab, let me come in and rebut
Are you
the
going to
point.
stop
I hope you
talking
will
like
offer
a
me the
rusty,
courtesy.
broken
Congress
tape
is too
recorder
late on that
and
plank.
let Kishore respond to you? I will come back to you in a moment. Kishore.
Yeah, I hope you will give me the courtesy of the rebuttal and not interfere when I'm speaking. Point number one, let us not forget the fundamental point that when Congress ruled for 40 plus years, India was bankrupt by 1991. We had to pledge our gold to even get back our economy. Point number one.
BJP.
Point number two, India was in a situation where IMF had dictated the diktats and we had to follow every single rule, which today is given credit to the Congress government for liberalization program. This was IMF diktat, point by point we had to follow. Do not forget, Congress people, that this was the same government which had imposed emergency. Now, coming to the economic point, this is the first time that we have had Jan Dhan and more than 40 crore people have got bank accounts and the total balance in the total bank accounts is about 2 lakh crore. Let me remind you, May 18,
What is the slab?
2015,
What is the tax
Shashi
slab,
Tharoor,
sir?
your member,
Economist,
your
sir, what is the
parliament
tax
member
slab?
said that...
What is the tax slab?
No, listen
Now,
to
what
me.
is the tax
Please
slab?
listen to me.
If the inflation has increased with the 6% and tax slab has not increased, decreased in the last 3 years,
learn to
it shows
listen.
that how they are
Congress has a
contributed to
problem
middle
of
class.
not listening.
Are you a tax-paying Indian or not? Are you a tax-paying Indian? We being a
I don't
tax-paying
need to
Indian,
show
how can you do
whether
that?
I'm a tax-paying Indian. Your
Please, sir,
own
tax
member
slab
Shashi
change
Tharoor
is
had
there.
debunked the
Please,
theory
sir.
which Rahul Gandhi is telling
Arre,
today
please.
that British Raj
Please, Mr.
looted
Economist,
when they
3
came in
साल
India's
से tax
economy
slab
was
change का
27%.
inflation 6% है.
Today they
कोई भी
left,
इकोनॉमिस्ट
it
बोल
was
रहा है कि नहीं, ये
4%
गलत है.
of the global economy.
इतना तो आपको पता रहना चाहिए. अरे 3 साल से टैक्स स्लैब चेंज नहीं हुआ है, 6% का इन्फ्लेशन है. फिर कोई भी बोल रहे हैं
और
इकोनॉमिक्स
दुनिया में
की
सबसे कम से टैक्स स्लैब है. इंडिया
comment
इंडिया का
finally?
टैक्स स्लैब डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमी से कम है और हमारा इन्फ्लेशन मोस्ट
आपका
कंट्रोल्ड है.
अरे तो आमदनी भी तो कम है बाबा.
Economy in the world.
What is this bogus argument that we have a tax slab lesser than developed economies? People in India make 20 times lesser money than people in Britain, and yet the Prime Minister
that
keeps
is
on
a
comparing the
broke up.
economy
You
of
don't understand
India with Britain.
economics.
What
That's
kind
a
of
broke
nonsense
up.
argument
At
is
a
this?
per
I don't
capita
understand.
GDP of
And your Prime
2,500,
Minister,
we
the
are
Prime
going to
Minister
move
of
to
everybody,
5,000.
Narendra
And
Modi, likes to
2,000
compare
what
India's
is
economy with
it?
Pakistan so much. Let me remind you this, Arnab, that Pakistan required 12 bailouts from the IMF. The fact that the point that I'm trying to make is that India was a very poor country at the time of independence, and it was only during the Congress era that poverty could be lifted away, that our literacy rate could raise from 13% to 80% under the Congress government. And let me remind another point that when this bailout was required by the IMF, the government in the center was a BJP-supported government, which, by the way, was also the same government under which the Kashmiri Pandit tragedy happened. It was a
Arnab, can I
BJP-supported
make my
government.
point
It
now?
wasn't a Congress government. It was the VP Singh's government, which was
Now,
supported by the
Nikhil,
BJP.
I want to bring Nikhil, can you please kindly keep quiet? I'll use polite language. No, Tuhin has to come in. People are saying, Arnab, can you give one of your inputs? Okay, here's my input, viewers. First of all, I want to make a few fundamental assertions. The first is, I don't know how rich Motilal Nehru was. But he was very, 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 very rich. He was super rich under the British. Now, I know that lawyers become rich sometimes, but he was extraordinarily rich. Extraordinarily rich. And all rich under the British. So, obviously, this family loves the British. Secondly, his way of dressing, his way of talking, his way of behaving, and his way of looking was British. He wanted to be, he's the most anglicized man. Don't give me this rubbish about I made a sacrifice, I gave up my wealth. How did you get so much wealth? 1 minute. The British loved you. The fact is the British, all the British lieutenant governors, 1 minute. Harcourt Butler, 1 minute. Harcourt Butler, the British officials, the viceroys, the lieutenant governors, 1 minute, were wined and dined by Motilal Nehru. They were very close to the British, please understand this. And the second point
मोदी जी भी तो बिरयानी खाने कराची गए थे नवाज शरीफ के साथ.
Second point, viewers. Second point.
अर्नब, मोदी जी
second
बिरयानी
point,
खाने कराची जब नवाज शरीफ के
second
साथ
point.
जाते हैं तो उससे मोदी जी पाकिस्तानी हो जाते हैं क्या?
I don't answer stupid comments.
अर्नब, ये
My
क्या
second
बकवास
point
कर रहे हैं ये
is
लोग?
that the per capita income of Indians
कोई स्तर
was
होना
close
चाहिए
to
debate
Burundi.
का.
When the Congress was in power, you reduced us to countries like Burundi, per capita income. We are rising now. We've doubled in the last 10 years.
And we
You
tripled
ruined that
during the
economy.
UPA
You made
government
us
of 10 years.
rank
We
at the
tripled
level of
during
some
the
of
UPA
the
government of
least
10 years.
Yeah. Don't
Per
talk
capita
rubbish.
income
Now
tripled,
you're
Arnab.
talking about it. Okay. Tuhin is on the debate. Tuhin. Let Tuhin have an entry at 10:15.
Arnab, I hope the Congress and AAP proxies are kept quiet for the next 2 minutes because, this is a very, I'm aghast by what Rahul Gandhi has said today and I need 2 minutes to respond to this. I would not go as far as Nehru because his blunders are too well known for the world. But Rahul Gandhi's stupid comparison today comes one day after Rajnath Singh ji has explained in detail what life was during emergency, the 18 months of emergency, when he was put in when he had to go through a very draconian existence and when he was not even allowed to meet his mother. That was the only time, 1975 to 77, when the Indira Gandhi government resembled the British. Today, before Rahul Gandhi makes such absurd comparisons, he owes an apology to Rajnath Singh ji. He owes an apology to the family of Arun Jaitley ji. He owes an apology to L.K. Advani ji. He owes an apology to Atal Bihari Vajpayee's family ji. He owes an apology to thousands and thousands of Indians whose careers were destroyed by Indira Gandhi. He owes an apology to thousands of those people or hundreds of those people who were forcibly sterilized, young men who were sterilized in Old Delhi before he makes such absurd allegations. The way Nehru has squandered away India's interest is too well known, so I don't need to go there. But Rahul Gandhi, before he makes such absurd allegations, needs to owe an apology to the country. There is a reason why these imported Gandhis have been rejected by the country. Because they don't subscribe to Indian ethos. They don't feel the prosperity. They don't take joy in the progress of the country. Today, at 7% consistent GDP growth, India is the bright spot among some of the darkest economies. I think instead of celebrating that, today we have a huge goal for a space economy of $100 billion in the next 5 to 6 years. These are things which Rahul Gandhi will not be able to understand. But when he demeans the country, mark my words, this demonization of Indian democracy, this comparison with British rule is very similar to his repeated outbursts from abroad where he would say democracy has been killed by Modi ji. And I think such a man does not deserve to be in Indian politics, which obviously will be decided on June 4th when Congress will collapse and probably get less than 30 seats.
Is that why you have to look for alliances everywhere and be minded of around alliance?
Nikhil, before you respond, Kishore, I have a very interesting factoid here. My factoid is very simple. According to the Hurun Rich India list, there are some 1,300 Indians who have assets, property and wealth of over 1,000 crores. Only 1,300 Indians. Okay? Now, according to the Congress Party website, assets of 200 crores, approximately 196 crore, was given by Pandit Nehru as a donation, which would today amount to 12,000 crores in today's money. Okay, now they are saying they gave this property. This was accumulated in property. It was given away. I don't know what this given away means. I mean, it's a technical thing because you don't want to be seen to be owning large places like Anand Bhavan. But 12,000 crores of property, Kishore Subramaniam. My question would be, if I was to ask today, how many Indians are there who have wealth more than 12,000 crores? Okay. Now, why am I asking this question, Kishore? Because according to the Congress Party website, the Nehru-Gandhi Vadra family had property equivalent in today's money of 12,000 crore plus at a time of pre-independence India. The question being, how did this family accumulate wealth which is in today's day and age 12,000 crore plus? How did they accumulate so much money during the British time? Were they in the 0.0000001%? How did they make this money? You can't say I'm an advocate, I made money.
Okay. There is a famous
right,
saying.
Kishore,
Arnab,
relevant question. And now they are saying, oh, we are missing the British times. Yeah. No doubt they are missing the British times.
Whoever said that? Arnab, whoever said that? What Rahul Gandhi is saying that this government is more draconian to the people than the
Effectively you said that. Effectively you said that. That's the liberty I take.
Arnab, you are reading into it in the whole other light here.
Once again, give me the courtesy of...
Let me read into it the way I want to. It's a democracy, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay,
Is
the
it?
first
Chief
question-
ministers are jailed without conviction. The largest opposition party's
we are
accounts
talking-
were
do
frozen
not
until the
dictate
court had to
point.
step in. Is
Gentlemen,
it
do
really
not
a democracy
dictate
or
the
not?
point. We are discussing about how the Gandhi families made so
How
much money.
did this family accumulate effectively 12,000 crore plus crore of
Exactly.
property?
Arnab,
People had lands back then.
In British
lands
time.
that were given
The
by the
government has
emperors.
all the power.
Generational
Oh, people
wealth
had
is the term
land.
that you know.
Acha.
Vader, they don't want to listen.
Acha,
They
people
don't
had
want
land.
to listen to an answer. First
No,
question is...
Arnab, are you not aware of the fact that
land.
people had zamidaris, people had revenue collection rights, people had lands? It's not just the Nehru family. So many other people who
ये बहुत
were
पैसा बनाया
officers in the
British
courts
time
of the
में.
emperors or kings.
बहुत
They had
पैसा
such
बनाया
property.
ब्रिटिश टाइम में. बहुत पैसा
Arnab,
बनाया.
Arnab,
बहुत
अरे
पैसा
आप
बना
बताओ
लिया
कैसे
ब्रिटिश
कैसे
टाइम
बनाया?
में.
saying
नहीं,
politicians
नहीं,
you
don't
tell me
then,
make
Arnab.
money, they
Arnab,
loot
You
money.
tell me कैसा बनाया? अदानी ने पैसा कैसे बनाया? उसकी बात करें.
Arnab,
मोतीलाल
even-
नेहरू ने कैसे
I
बनाया?
don't
उसकी
know,
बात
we'll have to
करें.
investigate.
Let's talk
Even by
about
that
Adani. Let's talk
comparison-
about Ambani. Let's talk about mega engineering.
Even
All
by
the
that
companies, all these
comparison,
billionaires who are
Arnab,
making so
Arnab,
much money,
important
giving
point.
electoral bonds
Even
to
by that
BJP
comparison,
and getting
Modi
government
and Modi
contracts at
government cannot
inflated
be
prices.
compared to
We're
the
not talking about
Britishers.
that, but we're more interested in talking about how some gentlemen
Arnab,
100 years ago
Arnab,
made
you
this
can
money.
ask these people any question, they are going to constantly...
Kishore
talk
on the
about
debate. Kishore.
CPI, they
Kishore
will
is
not
on the
talk
debate.
of facts.
Kishore.
Okay, so listen to the first fact. There is a famous saying which says that politicians don't make money, they loot money. So that is the classic example, and the Gandhi families are number one. Globally, they can compete. If there is an index of families which have looted money, they will be in the top 10. Point number one. Point
And
number
where
two.
would
What
Narendra
business was
Modi
the
be
Gandhi
top
family in?
5?
Okay, one second. What business was the Gandhi family in? Point number two. If you are talking about today's economic
What
condition and
business is
disparity in
Narendra
income,
Modi in that he affords a 2 lakh pair of sunglasses, a 10 lakh piece of suit, eats mushrooms at a 30,000 rupees a kilo?
none of the family
What
members of
business is he
Narendra
in?
Modi
Where is
has
the
150 and none
comparison?
of the family members of
नहीं तो
Gandhi
नरेंद्र मोदी तो
families
बहुत
have
सेल्फिश
less than
आदमी है. Of
1,000
course,
crores.
no family member of Narendra Modi has a
Go
lavish
by his
lifestyle,
election
but Narendra
affidavit.
Modi has the most opulent lifestyle
Go by
that
the
perhaps
election
any
affidavit.
educated
Gentlemen,
people
go by the election affidavit.
go by his
Do not
election
forget
affidavit.
the era where Robert Waldra
अरे
was
तो
given
उसमें 2 लाख के
special
चश्मे
entry
लिखे नहीं रहे हैं,
all
झूठ
airports
बोल रहे हैं तो
for
क्या
10
करें?
years.
उनका एफिडेविट में तो वो अपने आप को पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट भी लिखते हैं, डिग्री दिखा नहीं पाते हैं.
आपका
इलेक्शन
social
एफिडेविट में तो
media-
मोदी
देखिए
जी
फिर
कुछ
से
नहीं
इलेक्शन
लिखते.
कमीशन पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं, फिर से देश की संस्थाओं पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं. This is the mentality, mentality of the people.
Come on. Nobody, no. There is no allegation on the election commission.
There is a fact check on the fact you have to put. The average GDP of India during the UPA rule was 6.8, and during the NDA rule, your rule is 5.8. See, this
Please
is a
remember that
factoid.
that
Please check
GDP
it.
was
This is
on
your
the back
data.
of Vajpayee's progress. Vajpayee's effort that propelled the economy. India was
अरे
shining
तेरा
and
अर्नब,
propelled
अगर
the
हम राहुल
golden
गांधी की
quadrilateral.
बात को एक पल के लिए
अरे तो why can we
राहुल
not say that
गांधी,
the
देखिए,
development
even
under this government is on the back of
whatever-
UPA's
राहुल गांधी
policies?
के दादा परदादा जो हैं वो फ्लरिश किए थे. You know, if you go by, even if you go
अगर
by,
उन्होंने
what
flourish किया
Rahul
था,
Gandhi has
उनको
said,
उनके
during
खिलाफ जो
British
करना
rule,
करिए.
during
नहीं,
British
इतना तो मान लीजिए कि
rule,
आपके अंडर
Nehru
में
and Motilal Nehru's
नौकरी
business
है,
and
हाँ.
political
देश में
career
रास्ता भी
prospered.
नहीं था,
But
सर,
during
it was not
Modi's
even a highway.
government, Rahul
Forget
Gandhi's
about
political career is over. So even on that count, there is no comparison between Modi ji and British government. We have not allowed
Then why are you
proxies like
having a
Rahul
prime
Okay,
Gandhi.
they are
time
saying,
debate on Rahul
no, they are
Gandhi?
saying, they are saying
Modi
tonight.
Why are you
the way-
having a
the
prime
way
time
British
debate on
I have a
Rahul
right to
Gandhi?
ask questions.
Jawaharlal Nehru too.
I have a right to ask the questions.
Don't you have better things to do?
I'll
Why
ask
are you
a
having a
question.
debate on Rahul
Nikhil,
Gandhi on national prime
Nikhil,
time?
क्या
chillax, bro.
blabbering match हो रहा है? एक शांत करिए.
Nikhil, I'll explain to you. See, people must understand. People must understand. Viewers, young Indians, listen to me. The Congress supporters are saying, Arnab, you're going on and on. It's so irritating about how rich Motilal Nehru and Jawaharlal Nehru were. How is it relevant? Arey Baba, it's very relevant. Because your great-grandson and your great-great-grandson is missing that period. He's saying that time was better than now. Of course it was better than now for you. Because your friends were in power. You were wining and dining with the British. Now my question. People like Bhagat Singh gave up their lives
for
for
the
the country.
BJP's ideological parent as well. They were getting
was
to ally
forced
with
to
the
leave
Muslim
the
League.
country.
Pradhan Mantri is
I
missing
will
the
reduce the
Muslim League
volume.
so much.
Netaji was forced to leave the country, and that
Nobody
insecure
was forced
Nehru,
to leave the
volume down,
country. Netaji was
spied
with
on
the
him.
Congress as much as
He was so
anybody,
insecure
any
about it.
Congressman
Volume
would
down,
be.
volume down, volume down. And I'm saying one more thing. No, Nehru didn't do anything. Now listen to me. I go back to the moot point. They are saying, Kishore, that this family had 12,000 crores in the British time because they were successful lawyers. Acha, I don't think Nehru was a successful lawyer at all. They say his father was a successful lawyer. Okay. Now tell me, how many successful lawyers today are worth more than 12,000 crore rupees?
No, they were facilitating legal cases for the Britishers. Arnab, they were facilitating legal cases for the Britishers.
They were fighting
That is
cases
the
for
point.
freedom fighters, for heaven's sake.
When it comes to their legal careers, when it comes to...
And then they say we were freedom fighters.
Motilal Nehru's legal career, he was basically acting as an agent to the British.
Please do not make allegations, completely baseless allegations like that.
What kind of nonsense is going on? What kind of nonsense comments are coming from these two jokers? Arnab, we have to have some gravitas in this debate. These people are behaving like jokers today. Let's have a serious debate.
Either give the source of the
Tuin is on the debate. Tuin is volatile right now.
Admit that you make as basis, you're making as basis points as Kangana
Arnab,
does.
Motilal Nehru essentially in his legal career had acted as an agent to the British. So that explains his money, and I don't think he was a politician. He allowed, he basically enabled Nehru to become Jawaharlal Nehru to become politician. But I want to remain. But I want to remain fixed to the present. I want to stick to the present. These people.
Do you also think India got independence in 2014? Is there any source or authority or citation for the allegations?
Who are you representing? Please calm down. If you are not representing anybody, you are representing darkness. You are representing stupidity over here. Please calm down. Arnab, let us stick to the present. These people have made all kinds of absurd allegations against the ED, but the kind of scathing remarks which Delhi High Court has passed against Arvind Kejriwal should put to rest all the insinuations they have been making against institutions. And I will go back to emergency. The emergency was the darkest era in this country. That was the only time when the British Raj has come back to haunt us. 25th June 1975 to March 1977. These two jokers were not born at that time, so they don't realize it. But thousands of people have lost their careers. 2 years were put in jail. Today they are talking about unemployment. Thousands of people had lost 2 years in the prime of their career. Why? Because they wanted democracy restored in this country. Mark my words, these two people are championing, these two people are talking about unemployment by throwing false data. They should go back to
I want to tell you, viewers, I'm going to go on and on about this. Yeah, I think Rahul Gandhi, the only question you must ask today, and you can ask Sonia Gandhi or anyone, how did my family become so rich during the British time?
How did Adani become so rich?
You were bigger than Ambani, Adani. Ambani and Adani run industries. What industry was Motilal Nehru running? Ambani and Adani are in infrastructure, oil, the biggest businesses. What business was Motilal Nehru in, Kishore? What is his business?
Did Adani have in airports?
What is Motilal Nehru's business? What is Nehru's business?
Arnab, today.
Who was Motilal Nehru arm twisting in British Raj?
Arnab, today Congress's spokesperson is Dhruv Rathi. That is the level Congress has gone down. So forget about economics.
Who's that fellow?
Somebody whose videos about Modi being a dictator gets 50 million views, and you can't prove anything factually inaccurate in his videos.
And he was the one who said the statute of unity.
Is that your problem?
You would not be allowed to utter this nuisance. If Modi were a dictator, you would not have the freedom to utter.
Okay, I want to ask one question, viewers.
If Modi were
my friend Ashish Wakankar shares a bit of data with me tonight. Tuin, our friend Ashish Wakankar is sharing a bit of data with us tonight. And that is that he says that in 2004-2005, India's middle class was about 14% of the population. Today, after the dramatic growth in the last few years, our middle class is 31%. and constantly
Where
growing.
is he dreaming all this
That
data?
is the right metric to address.
Where is he dreaming all this data? Arnab, please cite the source for
Not
this data.
just
This is
that, by
absolutely ridiculous.
2031-32, India will
ये तो reality है भाई, I don't know.
That was conducted by the government of
I don't know which-
India 3 years ago.
This is the reality, man. What dreaming?
Purely by the
And 9%.
GDP decrease projections.
Arnab,
by
not more than 9% of
2031-32,
Indian
India will be
households
an
make
upper
a
middle class
household income of
society,
more
which
than
these people,
30,000 rupees
these
a month.
losers on the other side will never be able to fathom or comprehend.
कहाँ से आ रहा है ये डेटा?
Excise is 16,000.
कौन है ये लोग?
There are 7 crore
$5 trillion
taxpayers.
बन गया.
India's middle
$5
class is
trillion
growing at
बन गया.
27%.
Let's ask them. Come on, $5 trillion बन गया. मोदी जी ने बताया था, मैं कौन से रैली में बताया था, बता दूं.
5 ट्रिलियन टन, 5 ट्रिलियन टन अमित शाह जी ने 5
ये
ट्रिलियन
क्या
टन
राहुल
बताया।
गांधी का, ये क्या राहुल गांधी के मशीन से बनता है क्या? नहीं, ये क्या राहुल गांधी के मशीन से बनता है क्या? 2026-27 में हो जाएगा? 2026-27 में हो जाएगा? स्टेडी ग्रोथ की ओर हम जा रहे हैं. आप क्या राहुल गांधी की तरह बात मत करो कि अचानक मशीन में डालोगे.
Okay.
जैसे बोले
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
नहीं.
स्मार्ट सिटीज बन गई.
No, two in, 1 minute, 1 minute.
No, this is not a-
Ashish,
I mean-
Ashish, just 2 minutes silence. No, 1 minute, 1 minute. See, this is beautiful. At this
This is
point
the
of the
reason
debate, they are
these
getting
two-
very angry,
these two
worked up,
people
this, that, and all
essentially
that.
represent what,
Okay.
how
And they are saying
to
India is bad,
the
India is that,
opposition
India is
today.
this, India is dictatorship,
Nobody is
India
saying
is
that.
this,
Arnab,
India is
nobody is saying
that.
that.
Arey, it is
Please don't
you
twist
people
words,
will
man.
have to
Nobody is
be,
saying
you
that. The
people,
only
you
person
people,
who
Nikhil,
was
you
saying-
people.
No. The
You
only
know,
person who was
one-
making any remarks against India who is very
Ajay, yaar,
supporting
listen.
2015 South Korea when he used to go and say कि मैं इंडिया में पैदा होना.
Arnab, ये
Achha,
जो
now I'll
तुम्हारी-
tell you a new trend.
नहीं होना
Now I'll
चाहता.
tell you a new trend.
Quality of the
I will tell you a new trend. Arey, 1 minute. No. I'll tell you a new trend. Kishore. 2 in 1 minute. A new trend nowadays is all these foreigners, people choosing to live abroad, running away from the country. One of them stays in Hong Kong. One of them stays in Amsterdam. One of them stays in Germany. One of them stays in New York. And they write articles and make videos about India. Arey Baba, you are such a loser. You know, you can't find a proper job for yourself outside the country.
What
So
about
वहाँ
the
पे बैठ के
serial
भी
rapist
you have
who
to
lives
use
in
India to
Australia
make
and is
money.
the head
Shame
of
on
the
you.
BJP
Go
in
get yourself a
Australia
proper
overseas?
job. Go get yourself a proper
Arnab,
job.
what
Don't be
about
India
the person who
obsessed.
used to
You
live
have
in
left the
Australia and
country.
was
You have run away from the country. You have run away from the country. And now you
And
want to
the
write
BJP
articles
overseas
sitting
heads
in
who are
Hong
now
Kong.
serial rapists
India
in
is North
Australia.
versus South. India is North versus South. South will rise. North is impoverished. South is rich. North is uneducated. South is educated. India must break up. Arey, it won't. Chill. Now my other question is, 1 minute. They just said, we don't want Kishore.
Arnab,
Now, Kishore. There are some fools who write like that nowadays. Some fools.
Arnab, in Twitter, I have named Dhruv Rathi as the
I don't know these people.
official Congress liar. He is not an OCI card holder. He is an
Arey, who
OCL.
can,
I don't know
you
these
can
people.
name him whatever the hell you want,
Chalo,
doesn't matter.
I can, 1 minute.
You can name him anything you want there.
Kishore,
उससे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? बोल CL बोलो, OTP बोलो, OTP
we will
बोलो.
speak about people. We will. I mean, I don't know any Indian or anyone living in India, by that name who has any significance. So I can't comment on that. My question is, so let's speak about some significant individuals. My question is, it was asked, where have you got this data from? How can you say 31% are middle class? It's all lies, it's all rubbish. Okay, so I will quote. A recent survey by the Indian think tank People Research on Indian Consumer Economy, PRIC,
कौन सा think tank
defines
है
a
यार
middle
ये?
class person as one with an annual
ये
income
कौन सा think
of
tank है?
ये सोरोस का नहीं है.
तो
इसलिए
राजीव
आप
गांधी
लेके
फाउंडेशन
करोगे.
नहीं है.
ये सोरोस
राजीव
का
गांधी
नहीं है.
फाउंडेशन नहीं है.
ये इंडियन
कोई
थिंक
authority
टैंक है
source है,
and that is why you
चाइना
only
से
get
फंडेड
it.
वाला नहीं है.
नहीं, is it
ओपन
an
सोसाइटी
Indian
वाला
government?
नहीं है.
नहीं, is it an Indian government think tank? Or is it an RSS think tank?
So it found that people with the salary bracket of 5 lakh to 30 lakh, this number has increased to 31% of the population in
Which is
2021.
absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, so this is the impact of a few
Absolutely
years of Modi
ridiculous.
government.
Arnab, anybody
And,
who
ridiculous.
knows a dime
Ridiculous
about
means
Indian
nothing.
economy would know that it's absolutely
ये सब
ridiculous. Come on,
ridiculous.
Arnab.
Anybody बोल के
Let's
फायदा
not
नहीं
engage
है.
in
This is the
antics.
reality.
Let's
We are
not
growing
engage
very
in
fast.
antics And let's give some real data.
And it is, and by the way, viewers, let me give them a Bernal moment. 1 minute. मैं Bernal moment दे दूं. अरे भैया ridiculous मत बोलो. it is projected to go beyond 61% by 2047 Viksit Bharat mein, tab people will be doing very well. I don't know if you carry on like this, you'll end up in an asylum.
2047
अब समझने की कोशिश करो निखिल. You will be in depression by that time. You will be in major depression by that time. I'll be celebrating and you'll be in depression.
Economic Advisory
In
Council of the
2047,
Prime
I'll be
Minister.
celebrating and you'll
Listen,
be in depression.
Arnab, listen. Economic Advisory Council of the Prime Minister commissioned report titled "The State of Inequality in India in 2022" says that if you're making more than 25,000 rupees a month, you fall in the top 10% of wage earners in India. So are you telling me that the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council is lying, but this random think tank is correct? Arnab, there are 7 crore taxpayers who are paying more than 5 lakhs, who give an income of more than 5 lakhs.
Why do you get so? No, I have to ask a different question. I have to ask a different question to these people. No, Kishore. Yeah, Tuhin and Kishore.
3.2%. These people selectively cherry pick. No.
I'm
saying these people
I gave you a Government of India data, and because it doesn't
they will not believe a comprehensive SBI report which says that unemployment is at its lowest in the last 6 years at 3.6%. They will not believe that 25 crore people have been pulled out of multidimensional poverty. Why? Because their whole politics is built around poverty. Their whole politics was built upon poverty.
13 to 303 to 600, 2014 and 2014.
आप हमेशा पिछले 70 सालों से लोगों को झांसा देते रहे, लोगों को गुमराह करते रहे, गरीबी हटाएंगे, हमने गरीबी हटाया है और इसलिए लोग आपको देखना नहीं चाहते। लोग आपके पास नहीं चाहते। Arnab, finally one very important point. Arnab, one very important point for us to have a quality opposition in this country. Arnab, for us to have quality opposition in this country, you must reach out to Congress party and convince them to send official spokespersons to your channel, because these proxies, I think, misrepresent the opposition far worse than the opposition itself can misrepresent itself. You must reach out, get official spokespersons from Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, because these proxies misrepresent the opposition far more than the opposition itself and make a mess of any quality debate. These are the people why this opposition will remain in opposition for the next 50 years.
To the Government of India report, or are you going to just beat around the bush? Can you answer on the Government of India report?
I can quote you 10 reports. The fact is that you people are habitual pessimists. You people are habitual naysayers. I can give you 10 such reports which will educate you about the India's growth story. But you people are masters at cherry picking. You are habitual naysayers. You are narcissists who want ill for the country.
Okay, so 1 minute. Kishore, can I reduce Nikhil's volume? Kishore, I'm talking to you. Volume control now, please. Kishore, 1 minute. Just first of all, quiet everyone. You know, Kishore, I think sometimes, why do some people get so unhappy when our country does well?
Oh, fantastic question. I have just written on Twitter yesterday that Congress is the only party which gets happy if something goes wrong in India, and it gets unhappy if there is any good news. They are so excited about the hunger bogus report which put India below Pakistan, jahan khane ke liye aata nahi hai, and India is the fastest economy in the world, fastest growing economy in the world. We are the 5th largest economy, going to become the 3rd in the next 3 years, and going to become the number 1 by 2047. By 2047, when India becomes the number 1 economy, कांग्रेस के पास 4 सीट रह जाएंगे, अभी तो सिर्फ 40 है, खुश रहिए। और दूसरी बात आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा कि 1991 में कांग्रेस 40 साल के बाद इंडिया को बैंकरप्ट कर दिया था. We were revived only because of IMF and then Vajpayee government. Now because of Modi government, Congress has been a useless government. And do not forget, एक टेलीफोन कनेक्शन मिलने के लिए 5 साल लगता था, गैस कनेक्शन के लिए 3 साल लगता था. मेरे कस्टमर ने बजाज स्कूटर ऑर्डर किया 1970 में, 1980 में डिलीवर हुआ था. ये था आपका कांग्रेस. 10 साल लगते थे एक स्कूटर मिलने के लिए.
No, the other thing is what happens is Kishore, there's one more point I want to make, and please listen to me. You see, viewers, people are telling me, Arnab, what have you got against these people who go outside India, don't make any career of themselves, don't do anything significant. They cannot become a Satya Nadella. They cannot head a foreign big organization. Yeah, some middle-level journalist, some lower than middle-level saying you're an investment banker, nobody cares for what you are there. You've not really made a career there. So you come back to the same old 75-year-old TV anchor, sit with him and do a discussion on India. You've not been able to contribute anything to the world. You've not been able to contribute anything to India. You want to run away from the country. You live your whole life abroad. It is a choice that you make. And yet, after all of this, the only way you can make money and remain relevant is by abusing the country. And you make a living out of it. You can't do anything. I mean, nobody takes you seriously abroad. You want recognition here. All the recognition that you want is that these, these pseudo trolls, these woke brigade, the open society brigade, will all say, oh, great video, great story, and that kind of rubbish. The question is this. Kishore, these people are hated in India, hated. They are despised. Because all they do day in and day out is abuse India. And that is because they are unsuccessful people. They are worthless. They don't have any great credentials. They have not achieved anything significant in life. And their biggest problem is, there are some in India also. There is one American citizen in India, Kishore. Kishore, there is an American citizen in India who sits here, says, I am a journalist in India, but does not declare to the world that he is not an Indian citizen. He's an American citizen.
About Canada, Kumar,
because these people know that any point of time they are so hated in India, they may have to run away to their motherland, which is America. No, these are people, they've sold their life, their loyalties in Germany and European Union and America. These people are hated in India.
24/7 they spew venom, and your Dhruv Ratis and all the people only talk negative. They clap when India has a problem. If there is an incident of any accusation, any terrorism, any rape, they are happy. When India succeeds, when India's economic policies does well, when there is Jan Dhan account, when there is gas connection which is coming fast, when the poor are alleviating, the middle class is growing, the fastest GDP.
Kishore, are you living in a parallel world? Kishore, are you living in a parallel world?
Last question tonight.
If I was
one minute. The World Bank report. By the way, since you question the World Bank on everything, one minute. Last factoid from me tonight. Since you people say we will not listen to anyone, we'll only listen to the World Bank. The World Bank report has said that in the last 6 years alone, India has achieved a remarkable 80% financial inclusion rate, which is a feat that would have taken nearly 5 decades without a DPI approach. Shame on you people. And when I call you anti-nationals, you get
Thanks to the Congress party for nationalizing the banks, allowing for social banking and setting up the National Payments Corporation that allowed for the setting up of the UPI system that allowed direct...
How did Motilal Nehru make so much money? How did Motilal Nehru make so much money? How was Motilal Nehru effectively a billionaire during the British time? How was he effectively a billionaire in today's terms? How was he effectively a billionaire in today's US dollar terms, purchasing power parity terms in the British time? How did he make so much money? इतना पैसा कैसे मिला?